time. It's time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What it is, people, is the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Once again, it's me and my boy, Christopher Burton.
People's Podcast. So what's going on, y'all? Hey, I know I've been MIA for a minute, but I had some things going on. Had to get some stuff worked out. Had to iron out some wrinkles, but I'm back like I stole something. Matter of fact, don't tell nobody. I might have stole something, boy. But let's go and get on with the show, man.
All right, well, I'm HBT, man, and we here to rock the show. And tonight, man, we're going to talk about the Nature Boy. We're going to talk about Ric Flair. We're going to talk about his documentary, and we're going to talk about some other things. Because I know once people see that we're on, they're going to come in, they're going to say, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? What about Triple H? What about Tony Khan? What about doggone FTR? Man, what about Mandy Rose? Man, what about all these people? We're going to talk about it all. So,
Exactly,
hey, we are on live, and, you know, we were supposed to come on and do something else. But, hey, right now, man, we got to do what we got to do. We can't disappoint the fans. We are here for you. The Straight Up Wrestling Show. We are here for you. And we are here to do it, man. We are here to pump this thing up tonight, man, and give you guys something to look forward to. So, Chris, man, hey, what you want to start off with, man? You want to start off with that Ric Flair thing?
Man, let's start off with your favorite person in the whole wide world, boy. Yo, man, boy, Mr. Whoa himself, 73-year-old Nature Boy. Drinking and limousine riding, jet flying, kids stealing, willing, dealing some gun, boy.
Wow,
man. And he
still
can't keep them alligators down after 73 years.
Hey, no doubt. But first of all, man, I'm gonna say rest in peace to Pele. Pele.
Oh, wow, really?
Just passed away at 82 years old, man. I can't believe it, boy. I can't believe it.
Wow,
so
one of the world's greatest soccer players.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And hey, they call a certain kick in wrestling the Pele kick. So hey, his popularity it's done moved over into wrestling a little bit. Yes, man. Yes. So rest in peace to the great Pele. But yeah, Nature Boy Ric Flair, man. So we both saw the documentary. Chris, you came over to the house. We both sat down and watched the documentary, man, and then it was good. It was a good documentary. I think it could have been. I think they could have did a little bit more, but hey, how much more can you actually do? You've had the 30 for 30 out there, and you have a whole bunch of videos out there on Ric Flair. And this is something they can move into doing a movie later on. And I mean, you really have to have somebody special play Ric Flair. But man, I
don't even know. I can think of nobody off the top of my head that could even play Ric Flair. Bro.
Oh, I can't either. It has to be somebody that come out of nowhere. I mean, to be able to do that, it needs to be a great actor. And look similar to him, but man, who knows? I can't see anybody doing that. But I tell you, this guy, his star continues to rise, and I will have to say it's even bigger than what it was back in the day, Chris. It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable, man. His is definitely rising like crazy, man.
Oh, and yeah,
he is, man. He's something else, man. I mean, Ric Flair is one of a kind, man. And like I said, I don't know anybody that could play his role if there was a movie to take place, man. I honestly, I don't see it, man. I just don't see it happening, man. I know that sounds crazy to say, but I just don't.
Yeah, I don't either. But I'm about to text somebody who really wanted to see this. He wanted to come on, but I'm gonna text him and let him know we on doing it.
Okay. Man, and for those that might be coming in a little late, hey, guys, y'all know what to do. If you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, and join. And if you're on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, ding, 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 for times like this when we randomly come on. Because we're not a regularly scheduled podcast, man. We can come on at any random time. Oh, yeah. So hit that notification bell. And if you're on Twitter, hit that tweet, retweet, and like. And also, if you're on Twitch, yes, we're on Twitch also, hit that do the same thing you do on YouTube if you're on Twitch.
Oh, yes.
There it is, man. So, yeah. But, Harry, man, what do you think about this doc, though, man?
Man, the documentary is really good. I mean, there's certain things on the documentary, that really struck me. I mean, one of the things is the way he lived this lifestyle. I mean, I knew he lived a jet flying, willing, dealing son of a gun.
He lived it, man. He lived
it. He lived it 100%. And they took it back to when he when he on his plane, and he talked about
Yeah.
how many different, how much he was drinking, and even up to death when he did it after David, after David had passed away. I mean,
Yeah,
Reed
yeah.
had passed
I
away.
mean, that's what
So I mean,
threw him over the edge right there,
yes, it
man.
did. Yes,
Reed,
it did.
he didn't care no more. He didn't care no more, man. He just like, you know what, screw it all, man. I don't care. My son dead. It is what it is. I don't care. I don't want to live no more. I don't care about life or nothing. I'm just done, and done. He did not care, man. And it was crazy because he tried to kill himself, basically, in a nutshell, man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What's up? Kendrick. Kendrick is in the house, so I guess that's Justin.
Yeah,
Oh,
Justin and Raya. Yeah, Justin and Raya, man.
Justin and
Yeah.
Raya, man. We appreciate you guys joining. Now we were supposed to be interviewing Justin and Raya. If we don't get it done today or later on tonight, Justin and Raya, we will be try to talk to you guys tomorrow, or
Yes,
whoever we
definitely,
can, and talk to
definitely,
Adam
definitely.
or whatever. But we will be promoting that show, so stay tuned for that, guys. We will definitely promote you guys, promote the show that you guys coming up. But right now, we're talking about this Ric Flair documentary, and we're going to talk about some other things, wrestling, and we will talk about that show in between some of these other things that we're talking about. But man, yeah, I mean, yeah, that threw him over the edge. But let's go back to when Ric Flair started, because they talked about when he started. And Ric Flair said he was 6'2", man, before that plane crash. They went over the
Yeah,
plane
man.
crash. I remember he was a big guy. He always was a
Yeah.
big guy. But I didn't,
Yeah.
as a kid, I did not notice. I noticed when he had lost the weight, because like I said, I was there and I was watching, when he started. But I know he had lost weight, but I didn't know he had. I thought he maybe looked a little shorter, but I wasn't sure back then because I was a kid. I was just thinking maybe it was the weight loss that made him look like he was shorter in stature, but he had lost 2 inches. So all
man, 2
actuality, Ric
inches,
Flair was
man.
6'2". He was basically Stain size.
Yeah, that compressed fracture, man, that compound fracture of the back and
Yeah.
everything messed him up, man, did it, man. And man, it messed him up. The airplane crash really did him in, man. And we got some Facebook viewers on, man. Our man Cody Gibbs right there says, "Hey, yo, Cody Gibbs."
What's up, Cody Gibbs?
And and our viewers up in Wellington, North Carolina, Cliff and Renee, what's going on? How you doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Appreciate y'all guys coming on, man.
Yes,
miss you.
yes, definitely. And we got another Facebook viewer, Jamie Earnhardt is on. What's up? What's going on, Jamie?
Jamie, a wrestler. Jamie wrestles, don't he? Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler. What's up, Jamie?
But yeah, man, that doc was because I saw Harry was like, man, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. And I was saying stuff that I was like, you didn't know about that? He was like, no, I didn't know about that. I'm like, what? Mr. Ric Flair, you didn't know this?
Look, man, I know a lot about Ric Flair. I know a lot about a lot of wrestlers, but there's some things I don't know because when you got to remember, Chris, I stopped watching wrestling for a long time, man. And
man,
so
still, that was your main man. That was your man. 50
I know.
But
but over the last 20 years, there's a lot more things that came out about Ric Flair that you heard about during the time that he was in WWE, he was in TNA. I wasn't watching. And anytime I heard, I would hear things about Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I really didn't care to hear about it because I didn't want to get back involved in wrestling. But, as far as all of, everything that he had done in the past, as far as all the great matches that he had, I'm talking about the great Ric Flair. I'm talking about the Ric Flair before the second half of his career in WWE. And I'm talking about the Ric Flair before, the NWO and what Eric Bischoff decided to make him into, or Jim Herd. I say Jim Herd and Jim Barnett, and then Eric Bischoff. I'm talking about that Ric Flair before that. That Ric Flair, that greatness. That's where I wanted to keep it. Now, all these things that when he was drinking and doing all that crazy stuff that was pretty much damaging him. Yeah, I was hearing about a lot of this stuff, Chris, but I wanted to put it out of my mind because you do not want to be seeing your hero go through a lot of things. You used to be telling me some things, man. I remember, because I recalled a lot of things when we was watching the documentary. I remember you used to call me about everything. You used to call me and tell me about certain things that was happening. I dismissed a lot of it, Chris. I was just like, man,
And it was
listen to
crazy
it.
because
Listen
it
to
was
you.
like, because I was like telling you stuff that you were
Yeah,
like, what? I'm like, Flair did. I'm like, yeah, man, you didn't
yeah,
know. You were
yeah.
like,
You used to
no. I'm
call me
like,
on the phone, and like I said, and you would tell me current things that you was hearing, and like I really didn't want to hear that. I really didn't because, like I said, I wanted to remember Ric Flair like I remembered him in the 70s and 80s. Even though he was doing a lot of these things, all I saw was his greatness in the ring, his greatness on the mic. That's the way I wanted to hold him, and that's the way I wanted to see him. I didn't want to see that other part of Ric Flair. But now, of course, yeah, it doesn't matter to see all those things, even though a lot of that stuff still hurt. I'm just like, man, wow, really, I believed in you that much, and you are this type of person. But still, that don't take me away as the ultimate fan of Ric Flair, man. He's still, he's something special, man. He really is. Who is
yeah,
this?
man.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea who that is. But man, that doc was pretty good, man. And
Yes.
it really got into some stuff, man. That I'm sure Rick necessarily didn't want to get into, but
Right.
needs to get into
Oh, yeah.
to help his psyche, man.
Right.
Because obviously the loss of anybody in your family, man, is a hard thing to
Well, I know.
hard thing to get over, man. So and
You know too. I mean,
yeah. And but it helps him sometimes talking about it. But like they said, man, Rick don't do good with loss. He don't do
no, he
good with
doesn't.
loss. He don't do good with reality. Rick,
He's one of these
he
people, man. He's one of these people that wears his he wears his feelings on his sleeve, man. He wears his heart on his sleeve.
yeah.
And you can tell, and he's really hurt when somebody doesn't, if he feels somebody slights him, he's been a friend of him for a long time. It really hurts him, man. And I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it shows how vulnerable he is, in that documentary, and to tell you, and it shows how humble he is, and which is, he's a humble person, and that's a great
Yeah,
thing to see. It really is.
yeah, he is a very humble person, man. But Richard Fleer, the person, is very guarded, man. He's
Yeah,
very guarded.
no doubt.
Like you said, he even at 73, he doesn't know who Richard Fleer is
Right.
to this
Yeah.
day,
He left that person.
which is bad, man, because
Yeah.
that's like okay, granted, you call yourself HBT, I call
Right.
myself People's Podcaster. Okay, but guess what? I know who I am as a person. I know who Chris Burton is.
Right.
I know the People's Podcaster. That's my own screen persona. That's who I portray. That's my character I do when the lights on and the lights are bright. But when it's off, when the lights are off and it's just, reality, I
Right.
know who I am.
Oh yeah.
And Rick, he did not get that concept, and then there was nobody really around him to help him understand that concept. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's the life of the party. Just let him do what he do."
Oh yeah.
And he's done it for 73 years. So Richard Flair, you might as well say Richard Flair's dead, man.
That's true. That's true. All right, we got Andre Bits 69 says hi. He said Andre 69 says I'm new to your channel. What's up, Andre?
Okay, Andre.
We're gonna go Andre Bits 69.
Yeah, we're gonna call you Andre Bits. Okay,
I'm
okay.
new to your channel, Andre Bits 69. We definitely appreciate you joining the channel, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you joining the channel, and hope you like our content and everything that we bring to the channel. We have a lot of different videos, and you probably seen a couple of the lives or whatever, but we definitely appreciate you joining, man. Everybody's welcome, and we appreciate you being a new fan of the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
And our man Wesley Flasky's on Facebook.
Wesley Flasky, what's up, man?
Wesley said, y'all saving me from get rich or die trying for the 20th time, boy.
Yeah.
He said it's a marathon on, boy.
Oh, okay.
And Wesley was also asking, he's like, did you see that clip I sent you with him and Ricky Morton tying up? He was drunk AF. Yes, I did see that, man. There was at a conference or like a wrestlers meet and greet kind of thing, like a Wrestle Fest kind of thing. And they were locking up and joking around and stuff, man. And yeah, Rick was in his element, man. Rick was in his element. That's all I can say about that, man. But yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
But man, but what did you get out of that whole thing though, man?
The documentary, I liked it,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
man.
I really did. I really did like it. Just a second, I'm texting something, sending a message to somebody. Really liked it, but I think it's a few more things they could have went into. But I mean, basically, I enjoyed. I definitely like the respect that he gets from the wrestling community, especially Hulk Hogan,
Oh,
talking about he's the best to ever do it. I mean, he's the best wrestler ever. Coming from Hulk Hogan saying that, man, giving him that type of respect. I mean, that right there is
well,
huge. That's huge.
I saw a video before that he did years before this documentary. He said in an interview, somebody was asking him, and the question kind of got complex, but he said, if I break this thing down, he's like, if I name the top 2 wrestlers, he's like, Hulk Hogan, the character, is gonna say he's number 1. And Hulk Hogan, the character, is gonna say Ric Flair is number 2.
Yeah.
But
right.
Then he said, me, Terry Bollea, the man. Ric Flair's got it all day. He's like, Ric Flair's got it all day.
Yeah.
But he was like, if Hulk Hogan said this, Hulk Hogan, the character, Hogan's the best to ever do it. And I was like, I can see that. You don't put yourself over there.
Yeah. It's just like Charles Barkley, man. When Charles Barkley was playing basketball, and they asked him, "Is Michael?" They said, "You're good, but Michael Jordan's better." And Charles Barkley said, "You're not going to get me to say somebody there's a better basketball player than I am." And Charles Barkley, it took a while before he said that. So I understand, man. And I mean, anytime, that's how it was. Anything that I did, anything that I did in sports, and I'm sure you was the same way. I wasn't going to say somebody was better than me.
Oh, no,
the person, Harry Bernard Taylor, man, off the field, yes, I can say, man, he's the best player on our team. He's better than me. He's faster than me or whatever. But when I'm on that field, man, when I was on the field, I was on the court, in the ring or whatever, I was the best football player. I was the best basketball player. I was the best, even when I played Little League Baseball, I was the best baseball player. I was the best boxer when I was boxing. When I did amateur wrestling, I was the best amateur wrestler. So anything that I did, you have to have that mindset that you are the best at it. If not, man, then you pretty much, it's a lost cause. Because, it goes back to that old saying, anything that you do in life, be the best, try to be the best at it.
And you got to stroke your own ego, man. You got to stroke your own ego,
right.
Even though other people going to do it for you at times, but still you got to stroke your own ego.
Yes.
And matter of fact, Wesley Flasky said, it's the truth. Hogan was the best at bringing our sport to mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because he had the WWE machine behind him.
Yes.
And Vince had his hand on the pulse of what makes this thing click. Vince okay, we're going to use cable television. I'm going to reach the masses. I'm going to be nationwide in every household. And then you had MTV in the mix, and he had rock and wrestling, and that thing took off. And then he got hooked over NBC, Saturday Night Main Event, man. That was, man, you know what? You couldn't deny it. WWE, WWF, WE, they were everywhere. You couldn't.
Yeah, but you know what? Hogan wasn't his first choice, right?
Oh yeah, I know. Hogan wasn't his first choice, man. Hogan
was Magnum TA. He wanted Magnum TA, and if he couldn't get Magnum TA, he said he wanted Ric Flair. He said, but Jim Crockett wasn't gonna let him go. But he wanted Magnum TA. Then Magnum TA got hurt. So,
but could you imagine? But Magnum wouldn't have been able to do what Hogan did.
No.
He wouldn't have been able to do nothing near close.
No. Look,
Magnum would have been a good backup player.
Yeah.
Per se, like he was in NWA, because he was a backup player to Dusty.
Yeah.
Everybody was a backup player to Dusty.
Well, Dusty was one of his choices too. But Dusty wasn't, he wasn't in that top echelon. He wanted Magnum or he wanted Ric Flair. But, I think Vince, in a different way, he could have made Magnum a superstar, a huge superstar, because Magnum had his own charisma, but his charisma mostly came with the ladies, Chris. Hogan got everybody. Hulk Hogan got the kids.
And
so he got the kids.
You get the kids, you're going to get the parents.
He got both of the parents. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You see, Magnum just was a magnet for the ladies, and that's what Magnum would have done. And after a while, that thing would have flamed out quicker than what Hogan's did.
Oh,
So
good Lord, yeah.
so yeah, it fell into place. All the stars fell in line for Vince McMahon with
Yeah.
that. So hey, it is what it is in this history, man.
Yeah.
Now, Ric Flair, he could have got everybody that was a mainstream wrestling fan. Definitely was, but Ric Flair definitely wasn't gonna be telling no kids, man, to eat your vitamins and everything like
Oh,
that.
Lord, no, man. Lord, no. Because Ric Flair would have been going after them teeny boppers, boy.
Oh,
Flair,
yeah, but yeah,
Flair
he
would have had
definitely
all
wasn't.
them women riding Space Mountain, boy.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't gonna be doing that. But man, look, I'm just thinking of some other things.
And you know
Uh,
what? And I'll say this, Wesley, you right, man. Hogan, he did admit, man. Hogan, he said, as Terry Bollea, the man,
yeah,
he was like, Flair, as far as wrestling, hands down, is
oh yeah,
the best.
oh yeah,
He's like, I admit that all day long, you know. And speaking of Hogan, that cracked me up when Hogan said he was at the hospital and Flair was kind of just waking up. He was like, Hogan, hey, go give me a six-pack. Hogan
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
Hogan looked at him like, are you out your flipping mind?
I
What
know,
is
man. I
wrong
know.
with you?
But that's him, man. That's what he does. You know that, man. I mean, that's just I'm not shocked. I mean, the guy probably wake up early in the morning, man, 7 o'clock in the morning, drinking a dang
Wait,
on Michelob, drinking some kind of beer, Michelob, or
Man,
some Miller
you
Lite or
heard his
something.
schedule. You heard his schedule.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
scheduled drinker. And y'all, we ain't making this up. Go watch the documentary if you haven't made. Ric Flair says he starts about 10 or 11 in the morning drinking Michelob Ultras. Then by 12, he's on vodkas and Shirley Temples or whatever. And then by 5 or 6, he's into the hard stuff.
oh yeah.
And that's his schedule on drink. Go look it up, man. Flair, that
Wow, man.
I hate to say it, man. I love Rick, but he just don't learn.
No, he doesn't. No,
He
he doesn't.
just doesn't learn, man. I'm
And the
like,
sad
dude,
thing about it,
you
man,
were
he might
this
not.
close from dying. This
Yes.
close. This close from dying, dude. And you still out here drinking like you 22.
And you know what? They said he did at first, but you look, it just didn't last. And like we said, Chris, if he stops drinking, man, he probably
He
probably
probably
kill him.
die. Yeah,
He
he
probably
probably kill him.
probably kill him. So,
Whew.
yeah, I mean, I liked a lot about the documentary. When I sit there and I think about it, the main points that I liked mostly about it was like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and the things that they were saying about him, and then Charlotte coming in there and and giving homage to her brother and homage to her dad, man, and saying she wanted to uphold that.
Yeah.
That was the main things that I really liked in the documentary.
And it was crazy too because she was like, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlotte was
Yeah,
like, this was not for me.
right.
She's like, what I'm doing is supposed to be Reed.
Yeah,
Reed is the one that's supposed to be doing it. And it's crazy because Reed, man, if that Joker if he wasn't on them drugs, man,
oh yeah,
Hogan even said, I saw Reed wrestle, and over in All Japan, he was like, dude, he had it.
yeah.
He had it. And he was like, they respected Reed so much for his work ethic. And he was like, if you can make it over there, oh, you good as gold.
Yeah.
You good
Yeah.
as
And
gold.
Danny Paris was. I mean, I didn't even listen to it that well when me and you was watching it because I was so intrigued and so into it. But Danny Paris, man, was he was they used his voice. They used some of his commentary when Reed when they showed Reed wrestling. His commentary
Really?
was there. Yeah, it was Danny Paris and somebody else. I can't remember who the other guy was, but yeah, that was Danny and somebody else. So Danny Paris, local, the guy that hangs out with me and Chris, guy who commentates with me and Chris, been commentating for a long time. Me and Chris, we
Wow.
knew, we've been learning off of Danny. But Danny Paris is in that documentary, man. So hey, big ups to my man.
It don't surprise me. Heck, he did Lex Luger's documentary on commentary on one of his matches, so it don't surprise me.
So, but yeah, Danny, I was talking to Danny earlier today, and Danny was saying that Reed definitely was going to be a star. And I mean, look,
man, it wouldn't be surprised me. It wouldn't surprise me in '84 if Danny did commentary on one of your boxing matches, boy. It wouldn't surprise.
you crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me, man.
Man, Danny probably was. what, 84, I was 17. Danny was like 15 going on 16. So no. But
Man, hey,
no
man,
telling.
it could
No
have
telling.
happened.
Well, I'd be like, oh, this is this is Danny Paris, and we got the Hammer Harry Taylor up in there, man. It just, I was like, what the heck, man? I didn't know you was all gonna come. I forgot about that, Harry. No telling, man, because you know he forgets a lot of things, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he
I'm like,
does, man.
yeah. So, but
And
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. What's up, DSK? But yeah, man, we got a lot of you got a lot of Facebook users.
yeah, man. A lot of Facebook
man.
users on here, man. We got Melody Keith, man. Hello from Spartanburg. What's up,
Melody?
And this is Wesley. Wesley said Vince went around and handpicked the best from every territory.
Yes, he did. Yes,
depends on up north, accept them or not, and they accepted HBK. Yes, they did. And he was who said this? Probably alcoholic, it presumed. Yes, Ric Flair is. I hate to say it, Ric Flair is alcoholic. Yeah, Rick is alcoholic.
No doubt.
And pretty much while you thinking what you want for breakfast, he needs to drink to feel normal. You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
When normal Americans, I'm gonna say this, when normal Americans are like, oh, should I have grits, bacon, sausage, a bagel, or something like that? Yeah. Flair's like, should I do a beer or should I do like 8 vodka shots?
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking. It's just the truth, man.
It's sad. It's really sad. And in his upbringing, you talking about his upbringing.
Oh my God!
I knew all about his parents. I knew about that.
Harry, I'm just hold on. Just imagine if me and you had that upbringing, dude.
Oh, I know.
Man, what?
Yeah. I mean, so he had, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for the things he fell into. I mean, got a football scholarship, went to school, and he dropped out. I mean,
yes.
So there's no excuse for the way that his life turned out. Now, he did become this big time star, man, but he lived that rock star lifestyle. Yes. But he lived harder than about any rock star I ever known, man. I mean, this guy has lived so hard, man.
I don't know now. I think Ozzy Osbourne got him beat.
I said just about. I know he haven't lived harder than a lot. The most rock stars have lived harder than him, and it's taken a lot of rock stars out. But I'm just saying he has lived just as hard as a lot of rock stars, and he has stayed in shape. He has been able to hold up by doing this. I mean, yes, it has affected him later in life, which a lot of things like steroids and steroid abuse and everything like that has taken a lot of guys who started off wrestling when he did. But that's not what got him, man. It's all that abuse of drinking and all that. I'm surprised he haven't died of cirrhosis of the liver, man. Hopefully not.
His liver's probably been pickled, man. I hate to say it from all that alcohol, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, we're not here, man, to really trash Ric Flair. I mean, that's what
but it's on the dock though. I mean, it's on the dock.
It is. But
I mean, Ric Flair, man, we all know the accolades he's had, and if you don't know, go look him up, do your research on him. If you don't know everything about him or everything that you can find on the man, but like I said, we're not trying to dog him and try to drag him through the mud, but it's just who he is, man. It's just the fact of the matter who he is. This is part of Ric Flair, man.
Oh yeah,
and it's an unfortunate part of Ric Flair, but it's a part of Ric Flair, man. And somebody. And speaking of, man, oh my God, when he went to rehab, oh my God, y'all, I know we got a ton of comments coming through, guys, but when he went to rehab, they basically, Wendy, his wife, called Triple H, called Paul. She's like, look here, y'all need to do something now. He's getting real crazy. Hung up the phone. Triple H called him. Hey, what you doing? Nothing. Hey, you going to rehab? He's like, what? He's like, no, we send the car. It's on the way right now. You going to freaking rehab. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You going to rehab. Flair was like, okay, whatever. On the way to the airport, because he had to go to Tampa. On the way to the airport, had a 6-pack. Gets on the plane. He's drinking on the plane all the way there. A 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
Drinking on the plane. Gets off the plane. Goes to the airport. Goes straight to the bar. Drinking at the bar.
Yes.
Then he gets in the car, goes to rehab. What I say? What 3 to 6? What 3 to 6 weeks or 36 weeks or whatever it was?
Yes.
3 to 6 or 36 or whatever the time it was. He was in rehab. Gets out of rehab. Goes back to the bar at the airport. Has the wooden nickel. He's like, I can't get nothing with this, but here's my credit card. Starts drinking again.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
I was like, are you cruel? I was like, what? I'm like, who does this?
Yeah, but I'm gonna talk about, man, how everything started with Ric Flair. And as far as I've already told my story, and I've had a couple I've did a couple videos. I'm gonna do one more, but talk about Ric Flair and how he got to be who he is. So let's go back to the plane crash. After the plane crash, and like me and Chris already talked about, the man came out. He was 2 inches shorter. Ric Flair, came back, and George Scott was the booker at the time for Jim Crockett Promotions. He brought him the videos, and he brought all that stuff that Buddy Rogers video to him and said, look, this is who I want you to be. Ric Flair already knew who he was, because when Ric Flair was a kid watching wrestling, man, it was shown on nationwide TV, because that's just how it was. So he got to see Buddy Rogers. He got to see a lot of these different guys, man, that was wrestling back at that time. So he already knew who Buddy Rogers was, but it was George Scott who actually got him to do the gimmick. And Ric Flair just changed his whole gimmick. And that right there was the rise of Ric Flair. And from that whole time, because the guy could already talk. He would get out there with Rip Hawk, man. You remember the short guy who had that cigar in his mouth? I told you that was Ric Flair's partner. And that guy could talk, man. He was great, a great wrestler, great on the mic. And Rick was his partner. And Rick get up there, and I'm like, man, who is this kid, man? He's very brash and everything, but he was green at that time. But man, when he came back after that plane crash, and he said he worked hard. I mean, he must have, man, that Joker must have put in some Gil Sayers type work. Man. When he was able to come back, because the doctors told him he'll never be able to walk. Well, not walk again, but they told him he'll never be able to wrestle again. But he came back, man. He came back stronger than ever, and it just took off from there. And I guess at that time he was like, to be cool, I'm gonna have to wear these suits, because he started wearing those suits. What's the name? Tim Wood's wife started making those robes for him, and he decided, hey, I'm gonna do this. I want to look good, and I want to have these ladies. And to do that, man, you got to go to these bars and all that. And he decided, hey, man, I'm gonna drink. But he started drinking when he was 15 years old. But it escalated because, hey, he had the money to do it, because he was making bukus of money, because he became the biggest star in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling fast as I don't know what. And, all the way back in 75, 76, 77, when he was a young man, after he came back from that car crash, the plane crash, he became this, he overnight, man, he started making big time money. Back then, he was making $400,000, $500,000 a year from Jim Crockett Promotions. And you give a kid that much money at that time, you could think about how much money that was back then.
That's craziness, man.
So hey, it happened. But go ahead, let's get to these comments, man.
All right, man. Let's get some of these comments here, man. All right. So we got Wesley Flasky says Flair's always been a drinker. He would get drunk and drink, and my tequila drink, and a bar start tripping. It's a wonder he's alive. God has a purpose for him. Yes, definitely, man.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
And look how good Ashley is. Yeah, Ashley is amazing.
Yes, no doubt.
And DSK, our man DSK on YouTube. What's happening, DSK? Yes, Reed was in All Japan before WCW. Yes, he was in All Japan, not New Japan, All Japan. It's on Peacock, correct? Yes, it is on Peacock.
Oh yeah.
All right. Reed was like a son to me. I saw him 2 weeks before he died. He was such a strong soul. And that's Melanie Keith is saying that right there, man.
Melanie.
Wow. Easy, alcohol is a sickness, come from depression. I'm not going to speak on it. Okay, understandable. Understandable. DSK says Flair is a very honest about his mistakes. He's just who he is. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And yes, and DSK, you right. We all have made mistakes. You are
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
We
that's
all
true.
have made mistakes, man.
And look, I think he's a, you can't say, I mean, man, look, he has a demon when it comes to all this drinking and all that. He's hooked into that lifestyle. He can't get away from it. And man, hey, I feel bad for him, but how many people would trade what Ric Flair, his life, for theirs at that age?
I,
Everything that he done went through. A lot of people.
he,
Lots of people.
but man, if I knew the end outcome, boy, I'd be like,
Oh, heck no, heck no. Heck no. No, nobody would want that outcome, but a lot of people will want that party hard lifestyle and
oh
made all the money that
man,
he done made and become as popular as he has. But no, there's no way in the world I would want the outcome. But that's the thing about it is a lot of people don't think about the outcome. They think
yeah,
about all the
yeah.
fun and
And
everything.
see, and that's the thing, man. Like
Yeah,
I can honestly say, and you know this for a fact because you know me,
yeah,
dude. In my 20s, hey, what was I, man? You knew I was
yeah.
killing, boy.
You was partying down, you was partying up. Every time you turn around, boy, you telling me you got. You call me, man. I'm like, where you at? I'm at the club, man. I'm like, man, what the heck are you doing, man? I'm getting drunk, man. I'm drinking, man. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
man.
what in the world are you talking about, man?
Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I didn't have the money like Ric Flair, but I was at the club and I got to the point, man. I got to the point where they didn't even pat me down. They see me and like, going in. Didn't even have to pay. VIP, going in.
Hey, look,
You
if Chris
popping
had,
bottles,
if
man.
you had the money, you definitely would have done it.
Woo! At that point in time in my life too.
Yeah, you definitely would have
Man,
done it.
I would have been. Yeah, I would have been a Black Ric Flair, boy. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
the
lie.
whole thing about Ric Flair is it continued, man. Like I said, he didn't just
Yeah,
do it in his 20s. He did it in his 30s. He, in his 30s, late 30s, because
yeah,
the Horseman was between like 38 years old up to like 42. So he still party hard he party hard then, and he had the Horseman there with him, and
yeah. Because
they was able to support him. They would Arn and Tully and Barry, man, there's plenty of times they dragged him back in the hotel rooms and all
yeah,
that. So he wanted to outdrink everybody, man. He wanted to show everybody up. And think about it. I mean, the guy roomed with Ken Patera, and he hung out with Andre the Giant. He drove Andre the Giant for what, 3 years? So
yeah, 3 years. And
yeah, Andre.
Andre insisted you rolling with me. Oh, you drinking, buddy?
Yeah, and see, Andre drank like Andre. He drank anybody under the table,
Yeah,
and Rick
yeah,
was keeping up, and Rick was trying to keep up with him. So look, man, no, it's no wonder he ended up like that.
yeah. And you got to think, Andre. A bottle of wine for Andre was like a shot.
Oh yeah,
That
oh
was
yeah,
like that was a bottle of wine for Andre was a shot. So you got to think, Andre throwing back bottles and you trying to drink glasses, trying to keep up with Andre because nobody told Andre no.
yeah, exactly.
Nobody,
Yeah,
nobody told Andre
nobody,
no.
nobody did that.
And so if Andre wanted to go drink and eat, guess what? You going to drink and eat.
Yeah, you ain't gonna say last call for alcohol until Andre walk out of that place, man. Until he walks out of the building. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's crazy, man. But yeah, when I think about when I go back into the origin of how a lot of that starts, a lot of the things are not saying that it's not Rick's fault because a man
Yeah.
makes his own decisions.
Yeah.
But like I say, he had a start. He had a start there, even though he had started when he was 15. It
Mm-hmm.
just escalated,
Yeah.
with the people that he met, and he just decided to become this person. Well,
And then one time,
drinking.
Arn even said when he was with the Horsemen in their
Yeah,
20s, and Arn was in his 20s, he
yeah,
said they had shows out in California,
yeah,
but Crockett would use the base camp in Vegas.
yeah,
Now he said you out here for about 4 or 5 days to a week out in
yeah,
California, but you stationed in Vegas. You get to Vegas, party, 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 sleep, get on the plane, wrestle. 2-3 hours, fly back to Vegas, party, 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 get back on the plane, go back to Cali, wrestle again. He said they did that for like a week straight. And then sometimes they wouldn't even come back to Vegas. They'd be in Cali partying.
Oh wow, man. Wow.
And then he was like, in all the midst of that, you trying to hit the gym too? He was like, man, if I went in my 20s, just that run right there would have killed me.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, golly.
Wow.
I was like, man, them boys lived hard, man.
And the whole thing about it is this. Rick did all that. Remember, he meant 17 nights straight. He defended that world title against the top guys pretty much in the industry, man. Hulk, Ricky Morton, Sting, Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons, Ron Garvin, Lex Luger, man. It was a who's who of wrestlers that he defended that title against. Jimmy Garvin, Michael P.S. Hayes. But he went through a gauntlet, man, of defending that title for 17 days straight. And he was drinking like that during that time.
And then Dusty Rhodes said one time, man, that him and Flair wrestled for a whole week. An hour match every night. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. Well, 9 days. Nine. Make it 9.
Yeah.
And Dusty said in his Hall of Fame speech, he was like, I remember one night we had a stint. We had 9 matches for a whole 9 matches.
Yeah.
And twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, Monday through Friday. He was like, and he would hear the announcer say, this match for the World Heavyweight title, and it's an hour time limit. And he would look across the ring every night, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, and he knew in the back of his mind, he was like, I know what you just did last night, partying, and now you about to run a whole week with me for an hour every night. Hey, but they pulled it off, though.
Hey, yeah, man, look, the dude
pulled it off.
He did 3 nights straight with Barry Windham, 90 minutes. 3 90 minutes back to back. And I'm just like, this guy, man, I don't know what in the world was keeping him going. He was like a flipping machine and drinking like that. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal, man.
I mean, I don't know anybody that can even try to do that now.
Yeah. No.
You know, I'm talking about top. I'm talking about top athlete. No, well, the only person I know that could do it, that would probably even be close, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman could probably run with Flair back because because you watched that the last what was it Chicago Bulls documentary?
Oh yeah, The Last Dance.
Yeah, The Last Dance.
Yeah,
they talking about when Dennis was like after a game, Dennis was like, "Hey, I'm going to Vegas. I need some time off. I'm going to Vegas for the weekend."
Yeah.
They was like, okay, the weekend over. He didn't come back. Jordan and them was like, hey, we gotta go get him.
Oh yeah.
He said they brought him back. And they was in the middle of doing the Indian chase. You know what the Indian chase is right here?
Oh yeah.
When you basically just running around, running laps, and the last man's got to get in front, then the next man's got to get in front, so forth and so forth, and you running laps. Well, everybody done been practicing, and they done been practicing now and everything. And Robin been balling and drinking and stuff. Then came fresh off the plane, got in practice. They doing an Indian drill. Jordan said they basically just almost coming to a walk. The whole team almost at a walk. And said, and Jordan was like, look, hey, person get in front. Hey, you damn near walk. Jordan said, you damn near better be walking. He said, Dennis got up there. Dennis took off. Dennis left everybody. Jordan said it took the whole team 3 laps just to catch Dennis. After he been doing all that tomfoolery. I was like, man, ain't no way. I'm like, you got to be built different to do something like that, boy.
Yeah. One thing, who was it? I think it was Triple H, or maybe it's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, but they was talking about the man that Ric Flair wrestled. They talked about the stable wrestlers, the guys that he actually went. So that, man, when you look at that, like when they said that, when Triple H said that, and I think was it Shawn Michaels, like in which I told Chris, I said nobody will be able to go through that. Nobody will ever face that type of competition. And that's what makes him the greatest, man, because of the feuds that he had. And they're all legendary. I mean, you do have the top two. You got Sting and you got Steamboat. Sting is on the forefront of everybody's mind because that was the last one. But Steamboat was his best. But he had so many feuds in between that, man. That was and Dusty Rhodes. I mean, but the guys he wrestled over the years, man, is a who's who of wrestling, and you're just not gonna have anybody to run that gauntlet like that he done, man. It's just it's you don't have. That's what I say. Is what I say about MJF, even Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns done went through a lot of people, but nobody. Maybe we'll have that again one day where you have, you're gonna have those type of wrestlers but that's I just don't see it. But
I don't.
We hope to see that again. But Chris, go ahead and hit a few more.
All right, man. All right, so this is Wesley Flasky said, what about him being an orphan, never knowing who his real parents were? Yeah, he was a black market baby. Yeah, he was a black market baby foster child. Yeah. And he said that had to bother him. Yeah. It definitely bothered him, man, because basically he was stolen from his mom, sold on the black market to an orphanage that was ran illegally, and then got adopted under the prefixes that it was a legal adoption when it wasn't.
Yeah, so right.
That'll mess up your psyche when you kind of figure that thing out, man. And kind of getting onto that too, man, onto that family thing. He found out he had a brother. Remember, he said he had a brother after almost 70-something years. And Rick said, why do I want to meet him?
Yeah.
What do we have to talk about after 70-something years? And he's like, and Rick just jumped to the conclusion, the only reason you probably want to meet me because of who I am and what I've done.
Yeah.
And that I ain't gonna lie, that kind of hurt me.
It messed with me too. It really did.
Because I'm like, what if this dude genuinely wants to know you? What if this dude genuinely wants to know Richard Flair, not Ric Flair? He might be proud of what you've done as Ric Flair, but he might want to know you as Richard Flair.
You're right,
person, the man. He might be able to tell you something about your past that you don't even know, man. He might be able to link you up with family members that been wanting to know you, but don't know how to get in contact with you or something, or try to reach you. Yeah, you don't know. Ashley, this man might have been actually genuine.
Yeah, and you know what? Ashley, Megan, and David, they actually need to know they need to know that side of the family. They actually do. Because I mean, something can come up later on down the road with them or their children, and that DNA went through that side of the family. So, man, he need to drop some of his pride, man. I mean, I just don't know why in the world he doesn't want to. I can understand. That he's looking at it that way. But if that man wanted something from him because of his fame, he would have did it years ago.
Exactly.
Rick is known to be generous, so he would have done it years ago. But maybe there was something in his family, and I've seen people do that. Where they kept kids back and say, "Don't go and do this or do that. Go and tell these people." And they decided to he decided to reach out to Rick. Rick definitely need to meet him, and that's one thing, man. That kind of closed off that documentary. Not good for me. I did not like it at all. I was like, wow, man, come on, Rick. He has a hardness in places sometimes that he shouldn't have a hardness in.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Need to open up.
Yeah. There's some things that he's got. I'm like, Rick, man. I'm like, everybody don't want to take from you, man. Everybody don't want to take from you.
Yeah, that's right.
Some people actually legitimately care for you and care for Richard Flair.
Yes.
I mean, granted, we as wrestling fans, we understand there's two sides. There's the performer and then there's the person. We get some wrestlers a lot of wrestlers back in the day didn't want you to know their personal. Yeah, I get that. That. They didn't want you to know that they were married, had kids, whatever. They didn't want to know. They didn't want you to know nothing about that. They just wanted you to know who you saw in the arena Monday through Friday. That's all they wanted you to know. Okay, cool. But now that kayfabe is dead and over, we understand, okay, there's an actual person behind the characters.
Oh yeah.
We see some of our heroes in a different light now because we know they're actual people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the fans actually genuinely care about the people. I mean, go back and look at what they did for Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh yes.
Go back, look what they did. Go back, look what they did for Scott Hall. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
I
Big
mean,
time. And look
what they did for Roddy Piper. God bless his soul.
Amen. Hey, look, man.
The wrestling fans, they actually care about the person.
Yeah, and you know what? This guy probably is gonna have to go through Ashley or David, Megan, or go through Conrad. He's definitely gonna have to contact one of them to basically, because hey, Rick, we don't know how much. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so we don't know how much time he has. He don't know how much time his brother has. We don't know how much time any of us has. All of us has a day. So so he needs to go ahead and meet this guy, man. And I hope that he calls one of his nieces, one of Flair's daughters, or somebody, and try to go through them. And David, go talk to his father or whatever, and say, "Dad, you need to meet this guy," because this could affect future generations. We need to know. We definitely need to know,
because all of them got kids, man. Because David got kids, Megan got kids.
Yes.
At some point, I'm sure Charlotte's going to have kids.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure Conrad. Well, Conrad's married to Megan, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to figure. I'm like, who the heck is Megan married to? But yeah, Conrad's married to Megan, and like I said, they got kids. So I mean, come on, man. I mean, Rick, this is your grandkids, man, for crying out loud. And at some point, if you're around, you're gonna see your great grands if you're still around.
That's true. And he probably already got them, to tell you the truth. But
probably.
No, I doubt it. I take that back. But still, hopefully he's around to see his great grands. But man, I don't know, man. It was great, to tell you the truth, but I was so enthralled with it. Now, looking at it, maybe should have wrote down some certain points of it, but I definitely enjoyed it. And
I might go back and watch it again tonight, man. I
might do that too. I definitely enjoyed it, but basically, man, that's pretty much all I really have to say about the documentary. I really don't have many more things to say about it, because I think if you go back and maybe look at a couple of the videos that I did on Ric Flair, you'll see all the stuff that I say about him, all the bragging that I've done about him. I talk about him. I talk about the history of him and how he started. I talk about the feuds that he had, and I still got one more video to do. And I'm talking about the style, how the style is what made Ric Flair. It's that style and the way he talked, his stage presence. That's what got him over. And man, I tell you, he had it. I know he thinks he still got it, but to tell you the truth, he don't have it.
No.
But people still
look at him.
They look at him as this cool old man or whatever. Of
course.
People are so caught up into what he did in the past. But a lot of things he does now, he runs around and you woo and and primp around like he did back in the day. Kind of look silly or whatever. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, this man was something special. I mean, and I don't know if there will ever be another Ric Flair. When I talk about being another Ric Flair in the world of wrestling, somebody who had it all. And I mean, Ric Flair had every single thing. It's like a football team, man, that really didn't have a weakness. Ric Flair didn't have a weakness when it came to the wrestling game. Everything, man, was he embodied the whole thing, the spirit of wrestling. He had it. So, man, only way that somebody else can get that, MJF, he's probably the closest thing right now. Only way
he really is.
Yeah, he is. Only way he can get that, man, is go out here. He's got to wrestle. He's got to find a certain way to where he can vibe with anybody, and pretty much vibe with anybody and bring everybody over to his side. The thing about MJF is he has grabbed the attention of the wrestling fans. Either you love him or hate him. Most people love him, but he has not grabbed the attention of, he's putting himself out there as a ladies' man, but he haven't grabbed the attention of the ladies like Flair has, and he hasn't been able to grab the kids like Ric Flair has. Ric Flair had everybody, man. He had
Yeah, he did,
everybody
man. He did.
tuned into him. Everybody was in a trance when he saw this guy. So MJF, once he gets that, man, and like he still got plenty of time to iron that out. But you got to get into the ring. You got to go to these different arenas, and you got to doggone practice. You got to practice your profession. You got to practice what you do. And if you practice it, man, you'll get it down 100%. But yeah, MJF definitely, you can tell MJF has studied him. MJF has studied Roddy Piper. He has studied the greats as far as their talking and things like that. But he needs to grab what made the essence of these guys, man, and just put it in with himself. What's up, Oos? Shad Van Dam is in the house. So
let me get through these comments, man, because I'm way behind, man. All right, DSK said, I didn't think Reed should have been in Ric Flair too much pressure. Actually, man, it
WCW,
was David.
David was in,
David was in WCW. And I ain't gonna lie, David didn't have it.
David don't have the talent.
Oh my God. Looking at David was watching a train wreck. It was horrible.
Look, David was, he's not as skinny as Kendall Windham, but he pretty much had the Kendall Windham complex. He wasn't a star like his dad and his brother.
No.
David didn't have it, but his other two kids definitely has it. I mean, they have it 100%. But no, David didn't have it, and I'm just like,
David was. David,
yeah, looked like him, but I mean, he, kind of like Ricky Steamboat's son, Vic Steamboat. He was okay.
And David always looked lost. Every time he was in the ring, he looked lost.
He
like he didn't know what was going on, what was happening. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it was horrible to watch.
It's like he really didn't watch his father when he was growing up, and you could tell Ashley and Reed,
they did.
They glamorized their father, and they watched him and how he did his moves and everything that he was doing. They watched it. They was interested in it. David Reed, not interested in it. Kind of like the Karate Kid, like Ralph Macchio, his character in Cobra Kai. His son didn't want to have anything to do with it. But daughter, the daughter definitely 100% behind it. She studied it, and she was around when Mr. Miyagi was there. Before he died, and she was very interested in it. The other child wasn't interested in it, and so it goes to show, and that's what's going on here, man. But every child, man, is not great just because their parent was great.
Exactly.
I mean, Michael Jordan had two sons play basketball,
and they were trash.
Yeah, they was trash.
They were trash.
So LeBron James, man, he hoping Bronny James, his son, is gonna be who he is.
We gonna see.
We don't know. Hey, I mean, of course, Ken Griffey was a great baseball player. His son, Ken Griffey Jr., was great, better than he was. So you never know. You never know how your child is going to turn out, man. That's all it is to it. And we've seen plenty of wrestlers that came out here and tried to be like their father. Eric Watts, man, Bill Watts. Eric Watts was horrible. So I mean, so we've seen this.
I forgot all about that joke until you said something about it, man.
We've seen it time and time again. All right, man. Make sure you go ahead and get to all the comments. Chris.
All right, man. All right. Wesley Fest said the Bible says 3 score and 10. If you live for him, that's 70. All right. And he also somebody on Facebook also said Flair is the king of drinking, partying, but I love him. He's a great guy, great friend. Thank God for Wendy, his wife, who used to be Fifi the maid on WCW. She's cool. Yes. Melanie Keith said that.
Yes.
All right. Andre drank 107 beers in front of Flair one night. I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I used to be the designated driver. Make sure they ate Waffle House after partying. Really, coffee, and all-star breakfast.
Oh, wow.
That was Melanie.
Yeah.
All right. Ricky Morton fought Rick 20 days straight, 1-hour matches. Look it up. I believe it.
Oh yeah. They went at it for a while. I know they had a few for like 7 weeks or whatever, 7 or 9 weeks. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Man. All right.
He said 7 beers before his match. Flair. Oh God.
Yeah.
DSK said glad wrestlers don't have to work that much now. It's too damn much on your body. Yeah, it is. It is too much, man. Yeah, and plus you gotta think, man, folks ain't built like that no more, man. They
Hey,
can't
no,
they can't take that. They can't take that kind of punishment
no,
no
they
more,
can't.
man. I
No.
mean, 6 or 7 hours in a car, and then gotta go home, go to a hotel and sleep maybe about 3-4 hours, and then get up and be at the building half the day, and then wrestle, and then gotta get back in the car for another 5 to 6 hours and drive to, man, no, and then might have to fly somewhere, man. Oh yeah, them no, man, folk ain't built like that, man.
No.
6 Rings, The Last Dance was a banging. He was banging Madonna, talking about Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there for the most of the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup tournaments and Russell War tournaments as well. Too many great days traveling following WCW. My man Shad Uso, Shad Van Dam, what's
Yeah,
up?
Shot
Us
is
glad
in
you
the
made it
house.
in, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the spoiler, Harry. I'm only on episode 6. 6 episodes into season 1. Just kidding.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. And the Ricochet guy in the ring, he scares me every night. Every move he does could end his career. Yeah.
Yeah, it can.
I
It
mean,
can. So yeah, we're gonna
you,
we're gonna move on from the Ric Flair documentary, guys. Appreciate you guys checking us out, man.
yeah.
And like
Thank you,
Chris
thank
said
you.
at the beginning, if you are on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you're on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 so you know when we come on like times like these. And we on the
Mm-hmm.
HBO special tonight. Tell them what the HBO special is, Chris.
Help a brother out, man. Help a
No
brother
doubt,
out. So
no
we
doubt.
need to get off the HBO and get on some Cinemax or Showtime or something, man. Because
Hey,
this HBO getting pitiful, man.
Hey, Cinemax. Hey, speaking of Cinemax, AT&T called me this morning, woke me up, trying to get me to sign up for Cinemax. They've been trying to do that for I don't know how long. You get this thing for 3 months for free or whatever. I'm like, man, I don't want it. I don't want it. I got too many channels I don't watch now. Okay, so
Man, go ahead,
yeah,
upgrade Harry.
if
Go on, upgrade Harry.
no, man, I don't want no Cinemax right now. If
Man,
you are
you gotta get
on,
off this HBO.
yeah, we on this HBO right now, boy. Help a brother out, man. So that's all it is to it. But yeah, if you're on Twitch, man, do the same thing you do on YouTube and on Twitter. Hit that like, share, retweet. But man, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys coming on. And Chris, let's talk about some wrestling, man. Let's talk about some stuff that just happened last night. Last night you missed a great Dynamite, like you said. We
Man.
saw Wardlow. Wardlow got Nancy
But,
Kerrigan, was beat
but
last.
that was a 12-star match, boy. That was a
Yeah.
12-star match,
Hey,
boy.
look, man. If I'm not mistaken, to tell you the truth, I think Samoa Joe was one of the guys, man, that went out there and popped Nancy Kerrigan on the knee. After he hit,
It
after
might
the
have
way he hit
been, man.
Wardlow.
Might have been, boy. It might have been.
It's either that or he was training those guys, man. He was a teenager. He was training them. This is how you got to go out there and hit her.
Right in
And
the
turn
back
your
of the
heart to
knee.
fan, man, because I tell you what, he did it too good. And another thing, I guarantee you, this guy's been listening to. He was listening to Ron Isley, man. He was listening to R. Kelly, Ron Isley, down low, because after he had did that, this joker started pointing at him. I did this to you. I did this to you. He said it 4
But hey,
times, man.
man,
I did
hey.
this to you. Copy Ron Isley, man. And Joe was funny as I don't know what. And then
Hey,
in the
man.
ring, Wardlow comes out. Wardlow's limping as he comes out into the ring, gets into the ring, man. And after a couple moves, he's all right. He's all right
I didn't
until he tries
understand
to
that,
power
man.
bomb.
I didn't understand
And
that.
then after he try to power bomb Samoa Joe, he goes down. His knee is injured again, man. It was just flat out crazy. It
I
was a
couldn't
trip.
understand that, man.
Yeah.
Man, hey, but that was a good Dynamite, man. That was a good.
Yeah.
That was one of
Yeah.
the better ones. And I'm kind of glad I got to catch a recap on that, man. But I got some wrestling news here. I got some wrestling news.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
Okay. What's the news?
All right, man. I don't know if you know this, but our man Dragon Lee is coming to WWE, heading to NXT, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
And you know what?
What?
You heard about what happened, right?
No, what happened? What else happened,
Because
man?
FTR lost the top. They lost the tag team, the Triple A tag to Dragon Lee, and I don't know who Dragon Lee's partner was, but as soon as they lost it, Dragon Lee mentioned right after they had lost it, he said, "I'm going to WWE." right after they lost it, and they saying what's the name told him to do that after FTR because FTR was in they in AEW. They say Triple H told him to go ahead and say I'm going to WWE in NXT, not NXT, but AEW. Tony Khan was hoping to get Dragon Lee. He was hoping Dragon Lee was coming there. He didn't know Dragon Lee had that swerve going on that he already been talking to WWE. And he went online, man. He went on social media and told him flat out, yeah, I'm going to WWE. And very embarrassing, man. Like everybody said, very embarrassing. After his team, FTR, who signed with AEW, lose those Triple A tag team belts. Dragon Lee said, I don't need it. I'm going to WWE.
God, boy, Tony
embarrassing,
Khan, boy.
Man. So that right there is that right there is crazy, man. But yeah, that's what he did. So yeah, he will be in NXT. So look forward to that.
Man. Oh wow. And here's some more news, man, that I did not know about, man. Our man Conan.
Oh wow.
Conan said that both Mysterio's kids offered to donate their kidneys to him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. So that means Dom and his raised daughter offered to give their kidney to Conan, man. So because I know Conan, he's going through dialysis and everything, and he's going through some stuff and having some health scares, man. So
yeah, wow.
Ooh.
Wow. And look, man, I thought it was gonna be Conan talking some junk, man, because they're always talking junk about AEW.
Yeah,
and, he was working for a little while.
Yeah, but he said he also explained Conan, that is, how he destroyed his kidney during an extreme match in Tijuana. The ladder came all the way from the top, and I was looking the other way, and it landed and fucking broke my kidney. I didn't even know it. It just thought it was a normal pain, he explained. So the ladder must have hit him in the kidney some kind of way and messed his kidney up, man.
That's dangerous, man. That's bad, man. I hate that for him. Wow.
That's rough, man. That's rough, man.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, man. Big ups to Mysterio's kids for doing that. I mean, that's just they must really like Conan, man. Uncle Conan must be something special to him.
He must be, man. Because him and Ray like that, man.
Yeah,
true. Conan and Ray, they like that, man. So
he must have really done some. Those kids must have really looked up to him. So hey, look, man. Either way it go, man. Prayers, big prayers. All prayers are up to Conan, man, and I hope everything goes well for him. What's up, Z1 in the house?
Z1, what's up, man? Glad you joined in, Z1. Oh man, and I know our man Scott Larson, he ain't watching this, but I'm sure he's gonna catch it at some point. Man, his boy Sammy got done in at a house show.
Oh wow, for real? What happened?
Yeah, Sammy caught a stunner. Sammy caught a Stone Cold stunner, and it wasn't from Stone Cold neither.
Who?
It was from the referee, Jessica, the blonde-headed referee, the female referee.
Wow.
Yeah, she stunned. It was a call that didn't go Sammy's way, and he was all up in her face and arguing and everything and stuff. I'm gonna post it on our Facebook page, y'all, so y'all can see this, man. It's got a link to the video on Twitter.
Okay.
And he had a pinned in the corner. He was arguing like, what's going on or whatever. And she got doggone, just came out and was like, I'm tired of this, and just caught him with a stunner, man.
Wow, man, that is flat crazy.
Sammy getting stunned. Come on, Sammy getting stunned by a female referee.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll be right back.
All right, man. Man, but yeah, I'm gonna post that on our Facebook page, guys, so y'all can check that out, man. Jessica Carr gave Sammy a stunner. Wow, that was sheesh. That's something you don't see every day, guys, man. But hey, guys, we're glad y'all tuning in, man. Glad y'all watching with us, man. Wesley Flesky, Melanie, Z1, my big Oos, Shot Van Dam, all you guys, man. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching with us, and everybody else. And our newest member, man, Andrew Bitts. newest viewer, Andrew Bits. Thank you for watching, man. Hope you're enjoying the show. And like I said, man, hope we bring you some good information here. And wow. Yeah, it's been an interesting night, man. We talked about Ric Flair, we talked about documentary. Now we're just going through the wrestling news here, man. We're just talking wrestling, guys. We're talking wrestling. DSK. I wonder if Sasha ends up in AEW. That's the big rumor, man. You know what, DSK? I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna be AEW or New Japan. I really don't know. I really don't know, man. If it's gonna be New Japan or AEW, I genuinely do not know, man. It's gonna be one of the two, man. It's gonna be one or two. I just don't know which one. I
Look,
honestly, I just
I tell
don't
you
know
what,
which one.
she do not like being messed around with, and that is the reason why she's not with WWE right now, because she didn't like the way that her and Naomi, neither one of them liked the way they was being booked. Now, speaking of being booked, she's probably looking at the way Tony Khan is booking everybody, and she probably don't like that. So she probably wrestles over in New Japan. She probably like, I don't need that drama. I mean, you talk about leaving from a place that was driving her crazy now, and then moving to somewhere else that, moving over to AEW. You talking about booking that's going to drive her crazy? Go over there and see what she's going to get. She don't know what in the world's going to happen, because Tony Khan can bring her there and then next thing you know, oh, you losing tonight. Oh, you losing. Every time you go out there, you losing. You don't know. You come in as a big star.
Yeah.
Going out there, you losing. Right. You saw what he did to Morrison. I mean, you saw what he did to not Sky, but Scorpio Sky, but he did to Jay Lethal. He done it to so many different people. Come in, like, oh, this is a huge star. Oh, you going out there, you losing. I mean, so I'm like, why in the world are you signing these people and having them lose like that? And I got a question, man. I just not thought about something. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't seen Malachi Black.
Hey, man, he chilling. He on vacation, man. He chilling. He can do that. Remember, Harry? You forgot he can do that.
That dude came back for 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks. And they did this House of Black thing for 2 weeks. But the last few weeks, I haven't seen him on Rampage, Dark. Haven't seen him on Dynamite. I have not seen
him. He's chilling, man.
I'm like, my gosh, man.
He chilling, man. And DSK said she could do both AEW and New Japan since they have that relationship. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
She can. And look, man. You want a legit somebody who'll be a legitimate competitor for Jade Cargill. You can definitely put Sasha in there with her.
Oh, yeah, Sasha's gonna make her work. Sasha's gonna make her work, man. Yeah,
no doubt. That would be great right there. But speaking of great matches, like I was talking about last week, I'm talking about Dynamite from last week, man. That that match, that one match, or was that on a Rampage? No, it was on Dynamite. But that last match, man, Sheeta versus Jamie Hayter.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unflipping believable. So, that's the type of stuff that they need to really build off of. And man, if you're gonna get eyes on the product, you're gonna keep eyes on the product. AEW need to keep bringing it like that. And it doesn't matter if it's 2 women or whatever. They have got to continue to bring those type of matches and to keep people going. And speaking of Wednesday night, Wednesday night, last night, they had a pretty good crowd. I mean, the crowd was okay, but I'm saying the crowd was in tune the whole time. They was cheering. It was, they didn't seem disinterested or anything. They was into everything that they done. Everything was good as far as all the matches, and they had some good action and everything. It's just the background. Some of the things they did in the background, some of the segments, they wasn't good. But as far as all the matches, they all came out to be pretty good. So AEW did decent last night, man. Let's hope they keep it up.
Yeah. Well, I got some more news, man, about your other guy, man. And I'm gonna get this comment real quick before I get to that. Before I get there, I'm gonna get these last 2 comments right here. Wesley Fasky, it seems like last year this time Wardlow was the hottest thing going and wrestling, and now he's a mid-carder for AEW. Shaking my head, yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing too. They was like, they talking about how Tony Khan done completely ruined him. I mean, he's done after last night, man. Look, all they can really think about.
I would have did that from the jump.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
did that
I mean,
from the
look,
jump.
at this point in time, right now, Wardlow has got to prove himself. He's pretty much got to go into that Triple
Yeah.
H mode when Triple H was under
Yeah.
punishment, and Triple H came back and worked real hard, and then
Yeah.
even though he had to go out there and lose some matches and all that, but this
Yeah.
man worked hard and proved himself
Yeah,
in the
man.
ring.
Yeah.
That's where Wardlow is at right now. This guy is gonna have to prove
Mhm.
himself in the ring. He's got to prove that he only know a few moves. He's gonna have to prove that he can relegate whatever relegate
Yeah.
a match with another known star or something like that, and really get those matches over where Tony Khan
Mhm.
is going to say, okay. Because when it boils down to it, think about this guy against Claudio, man. Claudio will eat him up.
Yeah, he would, man. Yeah, like DSK. Wardlow got exposed. You put him, man, it'll be like
Yes.
Wardlow
Yes,
versus
yes.
Claudio would be like Goldberg versus William Regal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would show the world what he can't do versus what he can do.
That's right. That's right.
And so yeah, man, it's crazy. But the news I got, man, is about your other guy, Harry,
Who is
the
that?
man called Sting.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk about the Stinger a little bit, man.
All right, man. So the word has it, man. Sting says he has plotted out his final stretch in AEW.
Okay.
And he says, quote, I know Darby is going to be a part of it for sure, end quote. Okay, here we go into the article. The Icon spoke with the Ringer about his recent stint in AEW since signing with the company back in 2020. A stretch where he teamed with the young Darby Allin has been undefeated in the ring. In that time, the Stinger may have had a resurgence over the last couple of years, but he even knows in-ring days are numbered.
Oh yeah.
During the interview, he was asked about the end game and here's what he had to say. And I quote, well, I know Darby is going to be a part of it for sure. I won't have a singles match at this point. Darby will be along with me and I'll be along with him, and we can add more to it far as I'm concerned, but I have a few people in mind and I really don't want to say now, end quote. The article finishes off and says Sting will have a busy start to the year as he will team with the Great Muta for his final match.
Okay.
And he's actually wrestling Muta. I'm glad they said that because I forgot about it. Muta's having his match against your man Shinsuke on the 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll put that link on our Facebook page too, and y'all can check it out. But yeah, so Sting's gonna wrestle with Muta, his final match, and it brings him full circle with the Japanese legend who was faced off during his heyday. And that's the end of the article. But yeah, I'm gonna post that link for the Shinsuke Muta match in our Facebook group. So anybody that's in Facebook, go check that out. And you'll be able to order that pay-per-view if you want to watch it and see Shinsuke go against the Great Muta, which I think will be a pretty good match because Muta can still go.
Yeah, he definitely can. Look, man, but I don't know, man. As far as Sting go, mapping out and he says he's got to map out everything for his final run in AEW. He definitely done earned that right, but goes to show, man, that hey, Sting's in control of his creative, man.
Of course, man.
But still, man, even with that, even though Sting's a veteran and all that, it just goes to show me, man, that Tony Khan is not in control of nothing. I mean, even though he's doing creative himself, Tony Khan really not in control of anything.
Tony Khan's a figurehead, man. He is. Yes, Tony Khan's like the president. He's a figurehead. When Congress runs everything.
Oh yeah,
but you gotta have that figurehead, and that's Tony Khan, man. He's a figurehead. He ain't running nothing in his own company, which is a crying shame.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. So yeah. So I like I said, I just hope Sting. I hope it's something good. But anytime, man, I hear a wrestler, and Sting never was a booker.
No.
Anytime I hear a wrestler, man, he's booking his exit out of there. I'm like, no.
We gonna see what's
No.
gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
DSK says crazy that Brian Cage was the one to get the best match out of Wardlow.
Yeah.
LOL. Yes, he was. Yes, he
Yes, he was.
was.
He did. And I
And
think, yeah, what's the name? Cage probably went to Tony Khan and said, "Let me do this. Let me do this." And that way he got back on TV. He said, "I definitely can bring out a good match," and he proved that.
that was a good match. That was a
Yeah, it
good
was.
match.
It
No
was a
doubt.
good
It
match.
was.
Very good match.
Yeah. And Wesley Flesky says Sting says saying he can't work with top guys without Darby Allin at this point in his career. See, you gotta understand, man. You get to a point in the business where you have certain abilities where you can have single matches, but you can't put
Yeah.
on the single matches that you want to put on in your mind, and you can't put on the single match that you know fans want to see. So you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, I can only do so much, but I know what I want to do, but I can't quite do it like I used to, and I know what the fans want to see me do. So I can't do that. So in order to cover that up, put me in a tag match.
Yeah, and plus it helps Sting's longevity. It makes him look young to the fans. So I'm pretty sure Sting wants to bring that persona off to the fans, man, that hey, I'm still young and I can still do it. Because you see when he gets in there with Darby Allin, Sting does some impossible things that a person of his age should be doing. And then when I say it's impossible, because the man is 62, 63 years old, and he's flying through the ropes. He's doing all these crazy things that Darby's doing. It's like he's trying to prove a point, but he does not have to prove anything. Just go in there and be a mat wrestler and just do some stinger splash, do the stinger splash, do the beat your chest, do some clotheslines like he always do. And man, we satisfied with that. But Sting wants to dive on people through the ropes.
Yeah, he want to do some other stuff now, man.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. It's crazy, man. It really is.
Yeah. Wesley Flesky said Sting says he can't work with top guys. Okay, I've done said that.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is in the way. Yes, Tony Khan's always in the way. Sting had book in TNA when Harley came out 3 sheets to the wind. Jeff Hardy. Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. Okay.
DSK says Sting doesn't want to go out like other vets do in the ring. This is true, and I get it. I get it. DSK said when Jeff came out hammered, yep. And reverse DDT, yep. But yeah, man. I mean, that's what you got to do, man. At some point, you're limited on certain things you can do, so you gotta go in a tag match, couple things up. Plus, that gives you some extra time to rest. You ain't in there just really, trying to do a rest hold like a headlock for 15 minutes because you ain't got no gas. You running on E, you about to die. So you holding on the headlock for 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, everything is gonna be good, man. Everything's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. So I mean, man, it's there's a lot of things that, as far as this upcoming year, man, I hope AEW can turn their fortunes around. And I think as far as their final show on Dynamite, they did really well. I don't know how Rampage turns out tomorrow. Hopefully, Rampage, man, continues on what they had, because Rampage is taped on the same night. So hopefully, man, we have a real good Rampage tomorrow. But man, we hoping for greatness from both camps. And we're hoping, I mean, from both, when I'm talking about both camps, I'm talking about AEW and WWE, the big two. And I know a lot of people want to say Impact. They want to say Impact, MLW, and what's the other one? NWA Power.
Yeah.
Want to call them majors, man. But when it boils down to it, we know they're not majors. They're not. They're not. But we hope they're very successful too. And it's we hope all the indies out here, man, all these indies, we hope that they're better, able to bring in more fans, because these indies out right now, man, people are not showing up. They just not. I mean, when it boils down to it, I mean, Chris, we've been to a lot of shows. Fortunately, we go to a lot of the shows that's packed out, but we see a lot of shows that's not packed out, or hardly anybody is at. And I mean, we see this on video. We see a lot of this. So, but yeah, we definitely behind you guys, man, and we hope we hope goodness, good things for every organization, because it's better for the wrestlers, man. What the DSK said, Nikita looked fine today.
On her IG, man. That was the big news he wanted to share with us, man. He wanted to share with us some big news, man. Some big news he wanted to share. Hey,
Man,
DSK, man. Hey, DSK, man. I don't know if you on Facebook or not, man, or you in our group, man. If you're in our group, dude, hit me up, man, on Facebook. I got a picture I want to send you in the Keto lines. Yeah, I got a picture and it's autographed too, man. So you can print it up, blow it up, and put it on your wall, man. And it's the perfect picture just for you, DSK. So hit me up, man. I got that'll be my Christmas gift for me to you.
Yeah,
so just hit me up.
If you don't hit him up through our group, man, just just go on there and get Christopher Burton, man, on Facebook. Send a friend request or whatever, and Chris can send that to you. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right. So, man, I just don't. I don't know, man. Anything else you want to say, man, concerning the future of pro wrestling? What we're about to roll into 2013, and what you would like to see.
I just hope, man, that the Indies can. Man, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they need to fire Moose. They need to get rid of Moose. Thank you, DSK. I was almost about to Z1. Thank you, Z1. I was almost getting sentimental and say something meaningful, but you brought it back to my memory. They need to fire Moose. That's what I want to see, Harry, in 2023. No more Moose. # no more Moose.
That's pretty mean, Chris. That's pretty mean. What did Moose do to you, man? What did Moose do to you?
He became a wrestler. That's what he did to me, man. That's what he did to me, man. He became a wrestler, man.
Well, look, Moose might be a good addition to AEW. I mean, I don't know where to have him, Chris. I really don't. And what's up with John Moxley, man, and Darius and Dante Martin?
I don't know what's up with Blackpool and the Top Flight. I don't know.
I mean, it really don't make sense. I mean,
I don't know.
That match is not making sense. And you had Claudio teamed up with John Moxley last night, and they took on Darius.
I don't know, man.
And man, they beating these kids. They are wrestling these kids like these kids done stole something. Like they got a personal vendetta against them. Like like these kids doggone said something to their children in school, man. Running around bullying their children, but these guys are going out there and trying to beat the living daylights out of these kids. Now, Top Flight, man, put a good match together last night.
They did put together a good match. I will give them that, but man, you man, come on. Now, DSK, you did say something, man. That if Nick Khan is able to work that in all their contracts, yes, I forgot about that. Thank you, DSK. Thank you. They will be able to do indie shows, podcast, and everything outside of WWE that they hadn't been able to do before in the past. So they'll be able to go to these indie shows, go to these wrestling conventions, do podcasts, and make extra money. Who's going to be able to afford them? I don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't know who's going to afford them.
Who can afford these guys besides telling them, giving them a promise that you can come to this indie show and people will pay you money for your autographs and pictures and things like that.
But as far as
getting them in the ring, nobody can pay those fees. I mean, Claudio, which he was Cesaro at the time, Claudio wanted $6,000 to get in the ring. Let's see who else was on the indie scene. I mean, that came out and Karrion Kross. He was asking upwards to $4,000 to $6,000 to just to get in the ring. Crazy. Bronson Reed was asking all kind of money after his NXT run to go into the indies. So I mean, it was crazy. Bronson Reed was asking $3,000-$4,000. Unreal. So I'm like, okay, you got that exposure there, but don't come and try to nickel these indies, nickel and dime these guys to death because on the indies, basically.
Okay, hey, we know how the indies work.
Yeah.
If you don't have major sponsors that can kick out that kind of money,
yes,
and you put, let's just say somebody on the low end, you get Reggie, aka Scripps.
Yeah.
I'm talking about on the low end. Harry,
yes,
he gonna want at the bare minimum about $3,000.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum.
No doubt.
And I'm serious. He gonna want $3,000 on the bare minimum.
And he will be asking more he would be definitely asking more just for the Reggie character than Scripps, because Scripps is on the lower end. He's on NXT, and that right there is just now getting out there. But when he was on, WWE, when he was on Raw,
on the main roster,
he was more popular at that time. So yeah, he'll ask $3,000-$4,000. Yeah,
and you gotta think, man, all that money basically will be going to them.
Oh yeah,
all your other talent,
so I mean,
you doing a free show tonight because we got to pay them. It
does not matter that that they gave them the opening to go out there and work these indie shows. Nobody can afford them. Nobody. When it boils down to it, they can't afford them.
I mean, even the big time indies, I don't think they could even afford them. And there are some big time indies out there. I'm talking about some indies that could rival NWA.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if they can afford these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So I dare say you're gonna see just a lot of these dudes doing appearances, and even that might break the bank. And then you're gonna see a lot of them doing podcasts, and that might break some of the podcasters.
Oh heck yeah, man! It's a lot of money, and the whole thing about it is a lot of these podcasters got a lot of money. And speaking of that, man, that's why we want you to like, share, and join, man. Continue to increase us, man, because hey, we would like to
my man froze, but
we would like to get some of these guys in podcasts, do a podcast with them.
Yeah, because I mean, heck, man, the most we got, I kid you not, the biggest name we got was Gerald Briscoe, Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
that's the biggest name we've got to date.
Yeah, we got Gerald Briscoe, and we got his son, Wes Briscoe.
Them the biggest names we got so far to date. And we got a lot of legends. We got Chris Thunder Anderson, Chief J Eagle. But like I said, I'm just being real. No disrespect or slight to those guys or what they've done in their careers. But the biggest name we've got to date, Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah,
and we would love to get more. So like Harry said,
Nikita Koloff did tell Chris he was down for a podcast. So
and he said Nikita told me, he's like, I love doing podcasts, man. I would love to be on your podcast. And I heard him say it, but as soon as he said, I'm like, oh God, I ain't got like 15,000 on me right now. We had money at
that time, so I was like, plus we were just starting, man. I was like, no, we ain't gonna do that. But it would have gave us a lift.
It would have gave us a boost. But I was like, but that's the first thing I was going through my head. I'm like, oh God, he don't want to break the bank, Nikita.
Well, like man,
I was scared, man.
We didn't have a whole bunch of money. We didn't bring a whole bunch of money with us, cash money. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's what he would have wanted. So I had no clue that he was wanting to be on our podcast. I mean, I would love for him. We had who else we had there? We had Ricky and Robert. We had
Rock and Roll Express.
We talked
Magnum TA.
Yeah, we had Magnum TA. We had some of those guys there at that first show, big show that we went to. Actually, first podcast, live podcast that made. So
Ricky and Robert, them some darn fools. They some
good guys.
Ricky's still crazy as ever. Ricky's still crazy and changed.
And to tell you the truth, they probably would have talked to us off the, if
off
we would
camera.
Yeah, off camera and whatever, and just recorded a little bit. They might have would have talked to us, but as far as putting their face on, they probably would, said a few words. But that's probably it, man. But yeah, each one of those guys would have wanted some money,
Of course.
I don't mind paying some money for certain people, man. Ricky Steamboat, maybe Nikita Koloff. We get back in touch with him, paying some money, and definitely will help boost our numbers.
Yeah.
And I know you guys would like to see us interview these guys.
Yeah.
So I think that would be great. But man,
and Z1 said that needs to be a new Moose slogan. What Moose do to you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely, man. I would love to see that, boy.
And DSK said, I have Nikita booked for an indie show in February. What?
Oh, it must be somewhere around where he lives, man. Okay.
I already know he got his ticket about 7 years ago, but when he found out about that, he got that ticket ready, boy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, we all over the place, and I really don't have a lot to say. I mean, I do have a lot.
Me neither, but yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Tonight it's been kind of, after I'm thinking about that Ric Flair thing, and I'm his whole career while we sitting there talking is in my mind, and it kind of like clouded my thoughts on the documentary. So yeah, I'm going back. I'm gonna watch that thing again. But man, we enjoyed coming on here talking to you guys. Glad to have man Chris haven't been on this week, but man Christopher Burton is back on, and yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. But we are gonna get out of here. We're gonna end this podcast. Got a couple things I have got to do. Chris, any last words, man?
Man, just good to be back on, man, and good seeing all our fans, man, and back on the podcast talking wrestling. Like I said, has a lot of things on the back end personally I had to take care of and had to iron out some wrinkles and stuff, but I'm back, and hey, it is what it is. Y'all gonna see a lot more of me, man. So, hey, continue to hang in there with us because we're gonna bring you news and talking to you guys. And like I said, man, you guys help us, man. Without you, we have no show. We just be up here talking and just blabbering on or whatever. But yeah, thank all of you guys for tuning in and watching. Z1 DSK Melanie, my big Oos,
Wesley
Flasky and Mr. Bits, our new subscriber. Andre Bits, man. But thank you all for tuning in and watching, man. We appreciate it, man. And hey, go into the new year. With great expectation. That's all I can say. Go into the new year with great expectation, man.
No doubt. Happy New Year to everybody, man. Appreciate Kendrick for coming on, and hopefully we'll be able to interview those guys, or one of us will be able to interview those guys maybe tomorrow or something like that.
Sometime.
We definitely will interview you. These guys out there training, man. They're in training, and they wasn't able to get on. So everybody, man, that was hoping to see the Kendrick. If you came on, I did see Brino Royce came on. If Brino's still on there, Brino, we appreciate you coming on. But I saw a couple of people that came on tonight. So if you coming on and you hoping to see the Kendrick, maybe tomorrow one of us, Chris or I, one of us will be, or both of us be able to interview those guys, man. It don't matter what time it is or whatever, but anytime those guys can get together. But we want to go ahead and interview them and a couple other guys, man, that's going to be doing this show up at 122 Builders Court, their last show of the year. I forgot the name of it. I think it's New Year's Revolution or something like that.
Something like that.
The New Year's Revolution 2022. So it's their last show. Well, 2023, but this is their last show of the year.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely. So Chris and I, that's where we started the Straight Up Wrestling Show. It goes back into our roots. So we definitely asking everybody, man, who's listening to us in the upstate.
Get out in the area, good out there and check it out, man. Check them out, man.
Yeah, check it out.
Get out there, check them out.
No doubt. But we're out of here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Stay straight up. Peace.
Peace.